Man United should sell Marcus Rashford.
Second take and we're going this hot. What's that Liban thing he did during Mastermind? Where he like hit the buzzer and he's like, he froze. Should Man United sell Marcus Rashford? Let me hear the arguments.
For me, I think he just symbolizes maybe the past 5 or 6 years of United. Very up and down, very unable to give you consistency. They've given him the left wing. They've given him through the middle for a few seasons. He's never been able to latch onto anything and really take the mantle of this team. As the kid coming from the academy, given the number 10 shirt, I feel like by now at this point in your career, this should be your team. I still can't look at it and still trust him to take this team, if that makes sense. And ask a lot of United fans, they still don't trust him. So for me, it's a case of, at this age now, what more do you have to gain?
He's spitting. I can't lie. I hear him, bro. It's really a tough one, to be honest with you guys. Because me and Cam were talking about Rashford for a while, right? And we kind of sit on the same page in terms of how we view him right now. He's frustrating. He cuts a disinterested look a lot of the time. His output is inconsistent. His performances are even more so. Sometimes he doesn't even look like he wants to be there. He's on $350K a week, and the performances don't match the money we're paying him. But Cam brought up a good point to me that actually had me thinking. And it's also like kind of why deep down, I've never really said, yo, Rashford out or whatever. And it's like, Cam said this: if Arsenal came in for Marcus Rashford tomorrow, would you as a Man United fan feel happy about that? Or would you deep down be thinking, oh shit, yo, with that team and that system, with that coach, they might get the best out of him. That's not a player I want to go see to a rival. If McTominay goes to Arsenal tomorrow, bro, I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping, bro, with the fan on 60, AC on 100. I'm sleeping, snoozing. But if Rashford goes to Arsenal, I can't lie. I heard what Cam was saying. As a fan, I'd be worried that a talent like that is going to a situation like that where the environment might get the best out of him. But I can't lie, bro. I think the problem with Rashford, it's just too many hypotheticals. It's too many if he's on his game. It's too much if he's in the mood. It's too much if the team is serviced around him. It's too many ifs, bro. You guys are making my point. Rashford in Liverpool's system, it could be spooky, bro. Rashford at Bayern, it could be scary, bro. But also, right, I don't think any player should be more important than the club. And at times, I feel, and this is just as an outsider, all right, I don't know Rashford. I don't know his personality. I don't know what he's like. I don't know what he's thinking. I'm not in his head. But just as a fan, giving my opinion from what I see on the pitch, and I think I'm perfectly entitled to do that, it sometimes feels like Rashford treats playing for Manchester United like a chore. I'm sorry to say it, that's the look that us as fans, especially the ones who go to the stadium, come out of games and feel Rashford treats playing like Manchester United like it's a chore and not like it's a blessing. I understand it's his job, but he doesn't even look happy playing for us at times, bro. When the pass doesn't come to his feet, puts his head down, walks backwards. When it comes time to help his fullback and defend, head down, jogging backwards. When it comes down to creating a shot, creating action, looks down, dribbles with his head down, runs into defenders, loses the ball. It is what it is. And yeah, it's the body language, it's the demeanor, bro. And when you think of somebody who's a homegrown talent, somebody who represents Manchester United or should represent Manchester United, right? When you make someone I'm going to use an American term here, your franchise player, give him that much money per week, give him basically the keys to the club, the keys to the city, and they kind of repay that by acting like it's a chore to play for your club. Come on, man. Abs made a great point on the weekend after the game, not on this video, where he said, as a fan, we go to the stadium, we watch the players, and we say, do something that we know as fans we could never do. That's why we love, especially the Premier League, the top level players. Show us something that we could never even dream of doing. So when a player, forget about the stuff that we could never dream of doing, isn't even doing the stuff that as fans we know the bare minimum we could do, which is running, fighting for the badge, showing passion, anybody can do that. Right? Anybody can press, anybody can run, anybody can show passion, anybody can show intensity. As a fan, when you're watching players that basically you help pay their salary, not even do that, what are we doing here, guys? And that's why I might sell him, bro. I might sell Marcus Rashford. I understand the reasons I gave at the beginning, but I think after so long, it may be time with this new era coming at Man United, this new ownership. I'm sure a new manager is going to come in. Maybe he has to be one of the casualties. And that's not to say that Rashford won't go succeed somewhere else. That's not to say United won't struggle in the short term with his absence. But I think long term and kind of building the squad in a new image, maybe it is better to let go of Rashford and Bruno. Now, that's not to say I'm going to be an ambassador for selling Rashford. But if push came to shove, yeah, I wouldn't really be opposed to it. It might be the time, bro. And this comes as someone who's a massive Rashford fan. I don't know how many of you guys know, but my first ever game I went to go watch at Old Trafford and watch Man United was Marcus Rashford's first game. It was his debut against Midtjylland. My first ever game at Old Trafford to watch my team play was his debut. The next game I went to go see at Old Trafford was the weekend when he played Arsenal on his Premier League debut and scored 2 goals. So my first 2 games ever watching Man United were watching Marcus Rashford. So I don't want anyone in here to be talking about, oh, it's an agenda, he doesn't fuck with Rashford. Rashford was my favorite player at Man United for the longest. He was the one player that I never criticized because, I don't know, corny or not, I felt like, oh, bro, I watched this guy from the start. I almost feel like invested in his journey. So it actually hurts me more than anybody to be saying this about Rashford. But hey, bro, no player is irreplaceable. No player is bigger than the club, but it is what it is, bro. If Rashford, that's not to say, by the way, I would sell him to City or I'd sell him to Arsenal. If I could sell Rashford to PSG, I'd do it. Go let him be great somewhere else. But for Man United, it might be a case of, look, man, we've invested so much time, money, energy into this guy. And if his peak potential at United is just to be a guy that every other season shows you some output, shows you some big game performances, but then also cuts a frustrated figure the other half of the time, hey, bro, we might be better off of a less talented player that offers you more immediate, guaranteed consistency. It might be the case, bro. I see someone here says the winger market honks right now, to be fair. Does Manchester City have, guys, a elite big name winger? Grealish is not giving them crazy output. Doku is still young in a project. Mars isn't there any longer. Sterling isn't there any longer. Does United need to have one player who kind of just like dominates the scene and one player that we know is a all-world player, especially on the wing? Is that a necessity? If you get, for example, 2 hardworking, consistent wingers that can get you 10 to 15 goals a season, you can challenge for that if the rest of your team is good. There's no need to have this franchise player on the left. Oh, if we get Rashford, who do we get? Do we have to get Leao? You could sell Rashford. I'm not saying this is the answer, by the way. What if you were to sell Rashford and buy 2 wingers, like what, an Anthony Gordon on the left and Olise on the right? Those guys are going to give you output as well too. Maybe not as much as Rashford, but combined can get you 10 goals each, 8 assists each, consistent performances week in, week out. They might not reach the peaks that Rashford does, but they can also still help you be a successful football club. That's all I'm suggesting. I'm not saying that has to be, by the way, the thing United does, but is that not a possibility? Could United not be a successful team with that kind of situation? I think they could. You need to have 7 to 8 guys to win the league in this league against Pep City and Klopp's Liverpool. You need to have that caliber of player. But my point is, it doesn't have to be a left winger direct replacement for Rashford. You don't have to replace Rashford with an equally level big name. If you can go, I don't know, sign 3 all-world level midfielders and then you have 2 just hardworking, good Premier League level wingers, yeah, that's still a good team, bro.
I feel like as long as he is Mr. Man United,
Yeah.
United are going to be in this kind of weird phase of not really competing for trophies and just being in this weird mishmash area.
So you're saying if Man United were to improve in the next couple of years, you wouldn't see Rashford in the team of possible improvement for Man United?
I think you can actually flip Rashford and get better players. You can sell Rashford and get a player that gives you the same type of output he gives you, in my opinion. He's not that unique or a one-of-one talent that's like, oh, we have to look after him till he retires. Nah, bro, this is business. We're here to win.
Yeah, I agree,
I'm sorry,
to be fair.
The patience can only go on for so long.
Basically, what I'm kind of describing is like the Kane at Spurs situation. And this is by no means me saying Spurs should have sold Kane. Spurs are a better team without Kane. Kane was holding Spurs back. Disclaimer, I'm not saying that. But Spurs are the perfect example that with the right coach and the right recruitment and the right team, you can survive without your best player, your kind of leader in the team. You can survive, bro. You're never as bad as you think you are. You're probably also never as good as you think you are as well, too. If United sell Rashford and build a better equipped team that's more balanced, that has a more balanced midfield 3, that has 2 hardworking wingers, that has a goal scorer that gets in the box and scores goals, there's no reason why United can't be better than they are right now with Bruno and Rashford. There's no doubt about it, bro. These 2 do not carry Man United to some unforeseen prophecy, to some unforeseen place in the table that no one else could do. It doesn't work like that, bro. It's the same reason why, for example, I was the only one on SDS that didn't have Spurs finishing 13th, 14th. Because with a good coach and hardworking players and the right investment, you can be just as good, if not better.
It's so tough when it's United because what you're saying makes sense with a project. Any smart project would be, what was the legacy before? We're ripping that out and we're starting again.
Yeah.
At United, if you were to get rid of Rashford and Bruno out of that team, can Man United go through that suffering period? This is why I feel like a project or a process can't even work at
It's that
United.
fear of the unknown, right? I would have thought the same before Kane left. I would have
hear
thought,
I just said.
and I'm sure Arsenal would have thought the same after Henri left. Am I right in saying after
Van
that
Persie
season,
as
the
well,
08-09,
everything.
you lot went on to challenge for the title?
But with
So
respect,
it doesn't,
with
when
respect,
Hazard left, Chelsea went on to go win the Champions League. Like sometimes
With respect
the
to
thing
all
that you
3 of
think
those
is gonna
clubs,
be the worst thing
agreed.
actually ends up being a better thing for the totality of the club.
and that's why I say it's it's with respect
What
to
it
those
is
three
is-
clubs, it's a different level when it comes to Man United,
think
bro.
with Man
And
United-
United can't go so far down. Like we're down bad. We've been down bad
Yeah.
for 10 years. But there's no. Like, if
love
we
it.
were to breach how bad we've been and become worse, it just wouldn't happen. Decisions
bro.
would be made. Managers would be fired. All this kind of stuff. The player power thing in general is obviously where the players are going to outlast managers anyway. And the club will much rather sack one person than even think about getting rid of huge players for the team that have been huge for so many years. You're right in terms of what you want to build for the future. I just feel as though if you were to take out these two players from the team now, how bad we'd be would be unforgivable at Man United. And
That's not true, bro. That's not true.
but it's
You don't know that for
but it's
sure.
already-
That's
it's
a
already
fact.
unforgivable
I don't know that for
right now.
sure.
The way Garnacho's come out all of a sudden, it's like, hey, you know what? The way
Bro, Rashford has been in and out of the team this year with the current manager that we have and the current shit team we have right now, and United have not really dropped results when he's here or not here, bro. His impact is over-exaggerated. When he's at his best, absolutely United are a better team. When anybody's at their best, the club they play for is a better team. But this idea now that if United sells Bruno and Rashford in the summer, it's like an NBA franchise that just tanks to 15th. That's not how football works, bro. With the right recruitment, and if all of you guys believe in this Omar Berrada guy and Sir Jim and what's my man, Claude Van Damme or whatever his name is, bro, Jean whatever the hell that guy's name. What's his name?
Dave Brailsford.
Dave Brailsford. Hi, what's the
Jean-Claude Blanc.
Jean-Claude Blanc. I said Claude Van Damme. I think Claude Van Damme is an actor. Jean-Claude Blanc. Who else are they talking about now? To Ashworth. If they get Paul Mitchell. If you guys really believe in this, and all United fans, I've been seeing on the timeline for the last 3 months, hyping them up. Fair enough, you have the right to do so. Then you should believe that they'll hire the right manager and recruit well as well too. This idea that United just plummets down the table and tanks the seasons if they don't have Rashford and Bruno is just amateur in my opinion, bro. This is the thinking of people who stand those two players because it's not realistic. We sold Pogba. The next season we finished third. That's not to say that United, they didn't need Pogba in the past, but teams can coexist without that, bro. We're moving like Rashford is Messi now, bro.
Kobe Mainoo's come out all of a sudden, it's like, oh, you know what? So it's like, you never know what's going to come next. And I think that fear of the unknown for me is where I'm like, what unknown? Because really and truly, they've papered over cracks in a period where you've been down bad. And because they've given you those individual moments, you're almost like, you've been my saving grace in those dying moments. And I treasure you for that. And I respect that.
Yeah, that's true.
But that hasn't brought you any trophies.
No, it hasn't.
And that's the Man United standard.
Of course.
Don't let that slip in terms of, you've just given
But
me
you're
a few
saying
moments.
take a step back to go
I've got a
forward,
question
right?
as well.
Not even take a step back.
If we were to
Even-
get rid of
even-
Rashford, we'd
Take a
be
leap.
a worse
I don't even think it's that much.
No,
Are you-
we'd be a worse football
I'm
team.
sorry,
that's
if
for
you-
sure.
if you
In
lost-
terms of
if
creativity,
you lost-
attacking,
I
we'd
think
be
you can lose Bruno
This guy
and bring in a
loves
midfielder
Bruno,
who gives
bro.
you that same
Who?
what he gives you. I don't know, but I'm
the
sure
same level,
if you
it's-
gave me time and I looked up,
No, but
I'm sure I could get you a
in terms
couple.
of chances created, there's no one better than
If you
Bruno.
lot got rid of Rashford,
Bro, people swear that Bruno now is like... Honestly, right? If you actually watch this Bruno brother during games, right? This whole chances created shit is so overinflated. Yes, he's a good creator. But people act like he's this machine that spawns 50 chances a minute, bro. There are games where Bruno is anonymous, bro. Let's not get it twisted. People have this idea that every single time Bruno gets the ball, he just creates chances. United can't tick without him. It's not the reality, bro. This narrative does not equate to the reality of Bruno Fernandes. You can't tell me again that if United signed Florian Wirtz this summer from Bayer Leverkusen instead of Bruno Fernandes, they suddenly become a worse footballing club. Or they just fall down to 15th. It's a myth. And it's a narrative that's been driven hard by, again, Bruno stands. It's a myth, bro.
and you lot played worse, would you feel much different to how you feel now watching Manchester United? Would there be a big difference in
think
like your
especially
feeling
because-
towards the club?
No, but
You'll still feel that disconnect of like,
Of
we don't-
course.
we don't have anything at the
No,
moment.
100%. But because it's Rashford, because he's Mike born and bred, because he has all of that
it.
on his
Yeah,
side,
that's what I'm saying.
that is a lot of stuff that is on his
You
side,
lot gotta
which is why
take off them rose-tinted glasses.
it's
That's
easier
the
said than
issue.
done. It's
And
easier
that's
said than
what's
done.
holding
It's
you
not-
back.
You got rid of Danny
Cannot carry
Welbeck
the ball.
once upon a
I
time.
can't.
That's what's holding you back, bro.
It's not quite the same level. Rashford's done a
John
lot more for
Cleverley.
Man United than Danny
Yeah,
Welbeck
but
did.
Welbeck was Man United.
All right, let's not
He was-
compare Welbeck to Rashford.
And he
That's
came to
crazy.
Arsenal,
Huh?
scored and
Who's got more? Hey,
celebrated.
I know Rashford ain't even hit 100 club yet.
that's insane.
Yeah, yeah,
It should be
club.
100.
No, he hasn't.
No,
Nah.
yes,
But
yes.
not-
I remember him doing 100.
Alright, Fuad ruins it. Fuad had to. Hey, this is what Fuad does, bro. When Fuad wants to run a point, he'll say whatever, bro, to win that point. That's crazy.